You probably also feel like the default Microsoft Flight Simulator does look kind of pale and washed out. Well, today I'm going to change that by showing you a simple trick that is going to make your Flight Simulator look better and crisper than ever before. So do make sure to stick around, as what I'm about to show you will drastically improve your virtual flying experience as well as make a very substantial difference to your visuals. Before we get started, if you want to have the finest virtual flying experience possible, do make sure to hit that subscribe button for fresh flight simulation content. Bear in mind that this trick only works if you have an Nvidia graphics card. So with that out of the way, let's jump straight to the first step. So the first thing that you need to do is open up your GeForce Experience application and click the little gear icon up here. And then from here, scroll on down and enable the in-game overlay. Now this should be enabled by default, and of course you can access it just by pressing Alt-Z, but just make sure that this is enabled and you will be good to go. So now we are here above the beautiful Swiss Alps, and I'm going to show you how to make your simulator look absolutely amazing. To get started, you need to open up your Nvidia overlay, so just press Alt-Z by default. And then you can go ahead and click open the game filter, or you can also hit Alt F3 directly, and that works as well. So if you've watched my channel for a while, you probably noticed that I do like to have my colors very saturated, and also I like to put in some sharpness as well. If you don't like that, you can of course follow along and tweak the settings to your liking, but I'm going to show you mine and they look, in my opinion, very good. So let's go ahead and open up the first preset. That's already what I have set up. I'm going to show you exactly what I have here. So for brightness and contrast, we have the exposure set to -10, contrast to 40. Of course, you can play with all these settings and see what they do. I personally like to have a bit less exposure. Contrast, I like to have quite a bit of contrast, because if not, in my opinion, it looks pretty pale. So here with the highlights and the shadows, you can definitely play and adjust them to your liking. I personally like to have the highlights a little bit lower so that we don't have the clouds that are too bright. And the shadows, I do like them a little bit darker so that you can have a bit of a better contrast, and also, in my opinion, it looks a bit more realistic. Like I said, if you don't like the settings, you can of course adjust them to your liking, but I'm going to show you what I have set up for me. So shadows about 20 or 10, this is about what we wanted. Gamma, don't touch that, it's basically just changing the brightness of your scene. I just left it at 0 because in my opinion it looks very good like this. By the way, these filters, you need to add them from here. So when you have a new preset that you need to set up, just click add filter and you're gonna have all of them in here. The ones that I have, like I said, are brightness and contrast, details, and color. I'm gonna show you now the settings for the next two. So for the details, I have sharpen set at 60%. Now here, many people do not like a lot of sharpness. I personally do. So that's why I have it set up at 50 or to like around 50-60%. But of course you can leave it turned off if you wish. So next we got a clarity, same thing. I like a nice sharp scene, so that's why I have this at around 50 as well. HDR20, now this is a good one. It really changes the look of your simulator quite a substantial amount. So I really recommend get this thing up to like 50, not too much because then it looks a little bit too oversaturated at this point. But if you have it around 60 to 70%, I think that's the sweet spot there. Bloom, it's not really necessary and just makes the scene more washed out, so just leave this one at 0. You will be good. Now the last one is the color. This one's easy. Just put all of these to 0 and vibrance to 30. Since Microsoft Flight Simulator has a rather warm look, I do recommend you put this thing, if you want to change it, put it on the negative side so that you have a more realistic looking sky. But me personally, I like it very much as it is at 0. Now for those of you who really want a sharp scene, you can of course use the sharpen filter as well, which adds quite a lot of grain. This is really for those people who really like it, but I personally used it for a while and found that it was actually ruining the quality of my videos. That's why from now on I am not really using this filter. However, you are of course free to try it out. But like I said, these 3 filters are the ones I use. Of course, here you have the settings. You can go ahead and copy them, pause the video and take a screenshot or something so you can add them to your Nvidia overlay. So just take them from here and you should be good to go. Like I said, play around with them, find what is best for you, and you will definitely see a big improvement in the colors of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And trust me, like once you change these, you're not going to be able to go back to where you were before. As I can see now, if I actually turn the filter off, you can see how pale Microsoft Flight Simulator looks by default. Alright guys, this is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful, and I am happy if I was able to make your simulator look better, because let's be honest, the default colors in Microsoft Flight Simulator do not look as good as they should. We'll see if this is going to get fixed in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, but until then, use these settings and trust me, you're going to have a way better time in the sim. If you want to experience some of the finest graphics this simulator has to offer, make sure to check out this video on screen. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.